must be our goal and our guide. And all that we strive for as a human family, dignity and hope, progress and prosperity, depends on peace. But peace depends on us.
You know, it's kind of emotional for me. But look, you've been with me my whole career, and through the good times and the bad. And I want to thank you for everything. To my fellow Delawareans, on behalf of the entire Biden family that's here today, I want to express how much you mean to me and to every one of us. And so it's deeply personal that our next journey to Washington starts here, a place that defines the very best of who we are as Americans. I know these are dark times, but there's always light. That's what makes this state so special. That's what it taught me. It taught me the most. There's always light. When I came home after graduating from Delaware and then going on to law school at Syracuse, I came home after law school to Wilmington, to our county. It had gone dark. Dr. King was assassinated. Wilmington had been in flames. The National Guard patrolled the streets. And that turmoil inspired me to become a public defender, a step I never anticipated would lead me toward this improbable journey. Where 12 years ago, I was waiting at the train station in Wilmington for a black man to pick me up on our way to Washington, where we were sworn in as President and Vice President of the United States of America. And here we are today, my family and I, about to return to Washington to meet a black woman of South Asian descent, to be sworn in as President and Vice President of the United States. As I told Bo on that station waiting for Barack and Hunter and Ashley, I said, don't tell me things can't change. They can, and they do. That's America. That's Delaware. A place of hope and light and limitless possibilities. And I'm honored. I'm truly honored to be your next president and commander-in-chief. And I'll always be a proud son of the state of Delaware. As Tommy, or better known as Chairman Carper, Senator Carper, knows, my colleagues in the Senate used to always kid me for quoting Irish poets. They thought I did it because I'm Irish. I didn't do it for that reason. I did it because they're the best poets in the world. And James Joyce was said to have told a friend that when it comes his time to pass, when he dies, he said, Dublin will be written on my heart. Well, excuse the emotion, but when I die, Delaware will be written on my heart. And the hearts of all of us, all the Bidens. We love you all. You've been there for us in the good and the bad. You never walked away. And I am proud to be a son of Delaware. And I am even more proud to be standing here doing this from the Major Bo Biden facility. Ladies and gentlemen, I only have one regret. He's not here, because we should be introducing him as president. But we have great opportunities. Delaware has taught us anything's possible. Anything's possible in this country. So God bless you all, and may God protect our troops. Thank you.
Launched a great national effort to rebuild our country, to renew its spirit, and to restore the allegiance of this government to its citizens. In short, we embarked on a mission to make America great again for all Americans. As I conclude my term as the 45th President of the United States, I stand before you truly proud of what we have achieved together. We did what we came here to do, and so much more. This week, we inaugurate a new administration and pray for its success in keeping America safe and prosperous. We extend our best wishes, and we also want them to have luck, a very important word. I'd like to begin by thanking just a few of the amazing people who made our remarkable journey possible. First, let me express my overwhelming gratitude for the love and support of our spectacular First Lady, Melania. Let me also share my deepest appreciation to my daughter Ivanka, my son-in-law Jared, and to Barron, Don, Eric, Tiffany, and Lara. You fill my world with light and with joy. I also want to thank Vice President Mike Pence, his wonderful wife Karen, and the entire Pence family. Thank you as well to my Chief of Staff, Mark Meadows, the dedicated members of the White House staff, and the cabinet, and all of the incredible people across our administration who poured out their heart and soul to fight for America. I also want to take a moment to thank a truly exceptional group of people, the United States Secret Service. My family and I will forever be in your debt. My profound gratitude as well to everyone in the White House Military Office, the teams of Marine One and Air Force One, every member of the armed forces, and state and local law enforcement all across our country. Most of all, I want to thank the American people. To serve as your president has been an honor beyond description. Thank you for this extraordinary privilege, and that's what it is, a great privilege and a great honor. We must never forget that while Americans will always have our disagreements, we are a nation of incredible, decent, faithful, and peace-loving citizens who all want our country to thrive and flourish and be very, very successful and good. We are a truly magnificent nation. All Americans were horrified by the assault on our Capitol. Political violence is an attack on everything we cherish as Americans. It can never be tolerated. Now more than ever, we must unify around our shared values and rise above the partisan rancor and forge our common destiny. 4 years ago, I came to Washington as the only true outsider ever to win the presidency. I had not spent my career as a politician, but as a builder looking at open skylines and imagining infinite possibilities. I ran for president because I knew there were towering new summits for America just waiting to be scaled. I knew the potential for our nation was boundless as long as we put America first. So I left behind my former life and stepped into a very difficult arena, but an arena nevertheless with all sorts of potential if properly done. America had given me so much, and I wanted to give something back. Together with millions of hardworking patriots across this land, we built the greatest political movement in the history of our country. We also built the greatest economy in the history of the world. It was about America first because we all wanted to make America great again. We restored the principle that a nation exists to serve its citizens. Our agenda was not about right or left. It wasn't about Republican or Democrat, but about the good of a nation, and that means the whole nation. With the support and prayers of the American people, we achieved more than anyone thought possible. Nobody thought we could even come close. We passed the largest package of tax cuts and reforms in American history. We slashed more job-killing regulations than any administration had ever done before. We fixed our broken trade deals, withdrew from the horrible Trans-Pacific Partnership and the impossible Paris Climate Accord, renegotiated the one-sided South Korea deal, and we replaced NAFTA with the groundbreaking USMCA. That's Mexico and Canada, a deal that's worked out very, very well. Also, and very importantly, we imposed historic and monumental tariffs on China, made a great new deal with China. But before the ink was even dry, we and the whole world got hit with the China virus. Our trade relationship was rapidly changing. Billions and billions of dollars were pouring into the U.S., but the virus forced us to go in a different direction. The whole world suffered, but America outperformed other countries economically because of our incredible economy and the economy that we built. Without the foundations and footings, it wouldn't have worked out this way. We wouldn't have some of the best numbers we've ever had. We also unlocked our energy resources and became the world's #1 producer of oil and natural gas by far. Powered by these policies, we built the greatest economy in the history of the world. We reignited America's job creation and achieved record low unemployment for African Americans, Hispanic Americans, Asian Americans, women, almost everyone. Income soared, wages boomed, the American dream was restored, and millions were lifted from poverty in just a few short years. It was a miracle. The stock market set one record after another, with 148 stock market highs during this short period of time, and boosted the retirements and pensions of hardworking citizens all across our nation. 401ks are at a level they've never been at before. We've never seen numbers like we've seen, and that's before the pandemic and after the pandemic. We rebuilt the American manufacturing base, opened up thousands of new factories, and brought back the beautiful phrase, "Made in the USA." To make life better for working families, we doubled the child tax credit and signed the largest ever expansion of funding for child care and development. We joined with the private sector to secure commitments to train more than 16 million American workers for the jobs of tomorrow. When our nation was hit with the terrible pandemic, we produced not one, but 2 vaccines with record-breaking speed, and more will quickly follow. They said it couldn't be done, but we did it. They called it a medical miracle, and that's what they're calling it right now, a medical miracle. Another administration would have taken 3, 4, 5, maybe even up to 10 years to develop a vaccine. We did it in 9 months. We grieve for every life lost, and we pledge in their memory to wipe out this horrible pandemic once and for all. When the virus took its brutal toll on the world's economy, we launched the fastest economic recovery our country has ever seen. We passed nearly $4 trillion in economic relief, saved or supported over 50 million jobs, and slashed the unemployment rate in half. These are numbers that our country has never seen before. We created choice and transparency in healthcare, stood up to Big Pharma in so many ways, but especially in our effort to get favored nations clauses added, which will give us the lowest prescription drug prices anywhere in the world. We passed VA choice, VA accountability, right to try, and landmark criminal justice reform. We confirmed 3 new justices of the United States Supreme Court. We appointed nearly 300 federal judges to interpret our Constitution as written. For years, the American people pleaded with Washington to finally secure the nation's borders. I am pleased to say we answered that plea and achieved the most secure border in U.S. history. We have given our brave border agents and heroic ICE officers the tools they need to do their jobs better than they have ever done before, and to enforce our laws and keep America safe. We proudly leave the next administration with the strongest and most robust border security measures ever put into place. This includes historic agreements with Mexico, Guatemala, Honduras, and El Salvador, along with more than 450 miles of powerful new wall. We restored American strength at home and American leadership abroad. The world respects us again. Please don't lose that respect. We reclaimed our sovereignty by standing up for America at the United Nations and withdrawing from the one-sided global deals that never served our interest. And NATO countries are now paying hundreds of billions of dollars more than when I arrived just a few years ago. It was very unfair. We were paying the cost for the world. Now the world is helping us. And perhaps most importantly of all, with nearly $3 trillion, we fully rebuilt the American military, all made in the USA. We launched the first new branch of the United States Armed Forces in 75 years, the Space Force. And last spring, I stood at Kennedy Space Center in Florida and watched as American astronauts returned to space on American rockets for the first time in many, many years. We revitalized our alliances and rallied the nations of the world to stand up to China like never before. We obliterated the ISIS caliphate and ended the wretched life of its founder and leader, al-Baghdadi. We stood up to the oppressive Iranian regime and killed the world's top terrorist, Iranian butcher Qasem Soleimani. We recognized Jerusalem as the capital of Israel and recognized Israeli sovereignty over the Golan Heights. As a result of our bold diplomacy and principled realism, we achieved a series of historic peace deals in the Middle East. Nobody believed it could happen. The Abraham Accords opened the doors to a future of peace and harmony, not violence and bloodshed. It is the dawn of a new Middle East, and we are bringing our soldiers home. I am especially proud to be the first president in decades who has started no new wars. Above all, we have reasserted the sacred idea that in America, the government answers to the people. Our guiding light, our North Star, our unwavering conviction has been that we are here to serve the noble, everyday citizens of America. Our allegiance is not to the special interests, corporations, or global entities. It's to our children, our citizens, and to our nation itself. As president, my top priority, my constant concern has always been the best interests of American workers and American families. I did not seek the easiest course. By far, it was actually the most difficult. I did not seek the path that would get the least criticism. I took on the tough battles, the hardest fights, the most difficult choices, because that's what you elected me to do. Your needs were my first and last unyielding focus. This, I hope, will be our greatest legacy. Together, we put the American people back in charge of our country. We restored self-government. We restored the idea that in America, no one is forgotten because everyone matters and everyone has a voice. We fought for the principle that every citizen is entitled to equal dignity, equal treatment, and equal rights, because we are all made equal by God. Everyone is entitled to be treated with respect, to have their voice heard, and to have their government listen. You are loyal to your country, and my administration was always loyal to you. We worked to build a country in which every citizen could find a great job and support their wonderful families. We fought for the communities where every American could be safe and schools where every child could learn. We promoted a culture where our laws would be upheld, our heroes honored, our history preserved, and law-abiding citizens are never taken for granted. Americans should take tremendous satisfaction in all that we have achieved together. It's incredible. Now, as I leave the White House, I have been reflecting on the dangers that threaten the priceless inheritance we all share. As the world's most powerful nation, America faces constant threats and challenges from abroad. But the greatest danger we face is a loss of confidence in ourselves, a loss of confidence in our national greatness. A nation is only as strong as its spirit. We are only as dynamic as our pride. We are only as vibrant as the faith that beats in the hearts of our people. No nation can long thrive that loses faith in its own values, history, and heroes, for these are the very sources of our unity and our vitality. What has always allowed America to prevail and triumph over the great challenges of the past has been an unyielding and unashamed conviction in the nobility of our country and its unique purpose in history. We must never lose this conviction. We must never forsake our belief in America. The key to national greatness lies in sustaining and instilling our shared national identity. That means focusing on what we have in common, the heritage that we all share. At the center of this heritage is also a robust belief in free expression, free speech, and open debate. Only if we forget who we are and how we got here could we ever allow political censorship and blacklisting to take place in America. It's not even thinkable. Shutting down free and open debate violates our core values and most enduring traditions. In America, we don't insist on absolute conformity or enforce rigid orthodoxies and punitive speech codes. We just don't do that. America is not a timid nation of tame souls who need to be sheltered and protected from those with whom we disagree. That's not who we are. It will never be who we are. For nearly 250 years, in the face of every challenge, Americans have always summoned our unmatched courage, confidence, and fierce independence. These are the miraculous traits that once led millions of everyday citizens to set out across a wild continent and carve out a new life in the Great West. It was the same profound love of our God-given freedom.
Good morning, viewers. Thank you very much for joining Punchline Africa Television, broadcasting all the way from the Political Command Center in London. Good morning, viewers. Good morning, my panel in Nairobi. Good morning, my panel in Paris. One of my panelists, Ambassador Maina in Paris. Good morning. Good morning, Javan Karanja. How are you in Nanyuki? Good morning, Douglas Kirimi Budi. The guy himself all the way from Nairobi, Meru in Kenya. Good morning, Professor Gerard Onyari, the champion himself, the conflict resolution mechanism man. He will come back. He might be busy on one or two things. Gentlemen, the whole of last week and this week, we have drilled on the aspect of democracy, inequalities, elections, violence. Good morning, Professor Onyari. Professor, I want to hear your voice. So,
good morning, Dr. Masanga, Douglas.
Thank you very much. Your friend,
and Ambassador Maina. Ambassador Maina is dressing like an man.
That is his company uniform, he has explained.
Sometimes you need to put politics aside to be a real citizen, my brother.
So,
welcome, Maina.
Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you very much. As I was saying last week and this week, we have given our time on the politics of Africa, the inequalities that we find in Africa, the elections in Uganda, Tanzania, Malawi, the elections in Ghana, the elections in Central African Republic, elections in Guinea-Bissau, elections, Guinea-Conakry, elections in Mauritania, elections in Tanzania. We have given our time to these conflicts. We have also given time to the conflicts in Central African Republic, in Ethiopia, in Somalia, in Libya, in Democratic Republic of Congo, in Mozambique, where the militants of ISIS have occupied that area. Today, Diplomatic Leaks wants to look at United States of America relationship with Africa. Now that the Republicans are leaving, Democrats are coming. How will the Democrats, the new administration, handle Africa and their policy on Africa? How is it? Will it benefit Africa? Shall we see more conflicts? Shall we see more regime change? Shall we see very many people regime changing Africa? Shall we see upheaval? Will they pay money? Will they pay their efforts, their changes, their removal of troops from Somalia? Will it affect the security situation in Somalia? These are some of the things that we would like to see. Conflicts in Nigeria between Biafra and the central government, the Fulani and the Igbo. Conflicts in Chad, where Mr. Maina comes from. Conflicts in several African countries. These conflicts are the ones we want to put vis-a-vis the situation that you see. America is changing the guard today. 6 o'clock East African time, everybody will be marching towards the Capitol Hill. But it comes under a cloud of uncertainty. 260 years of democracy. A test case arrives in 2021 where Americans, patriots, decided to climb the Capitol Hill, something that happened in 1412. You can imagine the history. The historical perspective between the years up to today is what has made us and making us to discuss this topic of the relationship between America and Africa. How will they view us? Will they help us? Will they give us more investment? Will they leave us to go to China and get our Chinese friends? Will they change the world for the better? How will they affect the climate changes that are sweeping around the world? The weather changes, the pattern. How will they help terrorism in the Middle East? Remember, most of the countries that have developed, if you look now, the countries that are well off, apart from COVID-19, are countries that have autocratic rule of kings, kingdoms. Bahrain, Qatar, United Arab Emirates, Saudi Arabia. These are China, North Korea. People might think North Korea is not developed. It's developed. My course for 3 months, I did it in Pyongyang, which is North Korean capital. It is a developed city. It has a train running every morning. And the people, because you want to go there and take your culture there, that's what they have refused. They don't want your culture there. They want to stay as they are, eat snakes, drink snakes, a drink with snakes inside. They have their different culture, their social setting. So why do you want to force them to look like you? You are an African. You are a white person from America with your eyelids well seen. The North Koreans don't have eyelids. Why do you want to force them to have eyelids? Their faces are flat. Eyebrows are not seen between the eyebrow and the cheek. So why do you want to force them? So these are the things we want to look. How will Africa look? How will Joe Biden have Africa? How will he handle Africa? Are we going back to the Cold War? How will he handle the conflict in Cameroon? Yesterday, the Secretary of State for the United States of America, the incoming Secretary of State, pointed out to countries that is going to look for. And the countries is going to look for are well known. He said Uganda, Ethiopia, and Cameroon. He said they will be on Uganda to make sure that the election issue is clarified. They said they will make sure that peace returns to Cameroon. They said they will make sure that the Ethiopian government recognizes human rights. Luckily enough, I think the Democrats don't want to enter the bonanza of Zimbabwe. Therefore, they have excluded Zimbabwe and the sanctions. Why? Because if you condemn Zimbabwe, you must accept that Chamisa is also protesting against Zimbabwe government because of elections. So thank you very much. These are the topics. Let me start with Professor Onyango. Open this topic for us. I want us to know, what do you think the new government in the United States will be doing for us in Kenya, for us in Uganda? How will they be? Will they follow the tough policy of immigration, visa regime? What do you think?
Thank you, Dr. Masanga, for that question that we are discussing and we are trying to engage. Let me just have this to say that those who don't learn from history, they are condemned to repeat it. You know what Democrats stand for? They stand for human rights and democracies. That's what those are the ideals of the Democrats people when they are in the power. And if Dr. Masanga that we have not learned something from COVID-19, then we are likely not to learn anything. Because COVID-19 says that every country for herself and God for us all. And this is where I want to take that whichever regime which comes in power in America, it is for the American people and not for the people of Africa. I don't see anything coming good from the Democrat or Joe Biden, because even you can see the sanctions for Zimbabwe and other countries. It happened during the time for Democrats. So we are likely, Dr. Masanga, likely to see a lot of interference of the regime change for the interests of the Americans. If we have managed to survive as a country, for Kenya as a country, Uganda as a country, Chad as a country, and many African as a country during this time for COVID, Dr. Masanga, then African leaders, which we have failed to learn, Dr. Masanga, we need to engineer ourselves and chart the way forward. So for opening the topic, Dr. Masanga, let Africa not expect much from the Democrats. Remember our son, who has got roots here in Kenya, President Barack Obama, when he came to Kenya and he met President Uhuru Kenyatta, what was his priority? He was to tell us about gays and homosexuals, that their rights must be followed. When Africa, we have got more underlying issues which we need to focus. So on this, Dr. Masanga, we need to engineer ourselves and move forward. Thank you for this wonderful discussion.
Thank you very much, Professor. On that note, let me come to Ghana Maina. Ghana Maina from the French-speaking nations. I don't know whether you are online. Ghana Maina. Yeah, you are from the French-speaking nations. You are in Paris at the moment. Africa is bleeding. French-speaking countries, Cameroon, Chad, Central African Republic, a neighbor of Chad, is bleeding. The rebels are pushing towards the capture. Fortunately or unfortunately, Ugandan rebels are with the government. And Museveni is with the rebel. You are aware of that. UPDF is involved with Mr. Bozize in the capture of the capital, Bangui. Ugandan troops are there. Rwandese troops have been taken there by the United Nations, plus Russian troops, to protect the government. Now, mysteriously, the Uganda government, the opposition of Konyi and other troops who went to Central Africa, found themselves in being on the side of the government. Now, with this type of confusion, you are from Central African area, you are from a French-speaking colony, you are in France yourself. What do you think can be, what is going to change? You'll see Cameroon across the border with you. I've tried to entice you to speak about this Cameroonian thing, but every time you run away from me. I hope today you'll address it. I don't know why you run away from the French Amazonian and from the Cameroonian Amazonian. I don't know what wrong you have with them, but speak something. What do you think the new administration will do? What policy will they change? Will they change any policy? Shall we have more governments toppled? Are we going to have more governments toppled? Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Matanga. As you said that I'm from French-speaking countries, and whoever who's born with French-speaking areas will understand that the system that we has been colonized is totally complicated and different compared to British, number one. Because the system is always, anything you need, you have to refer to France at least to explain to you what to do. That is where the difficulty lies. And number two, let me speak first from my country, Chad. You see, someone like me, when we start growing on, we grow in war. We never know the peace. Long time to have a peace, and you, Dr. Matsanga, you are a witness. So someone who has grown up in this kind of system, you don't want the kind of difficulties to repeat itself again in any case, even on your dream. Anybody who tell you who's ready to fight, for the country, to change the system, because he don't know the difficulty, what the common man will go day-to-day life, how difficult is, how people lose their lives and everything. But I can tell you, on my level now, if I see how far we come from, I congratulate our president because he has been there. He fight at least to make sure that this thing come back to the track. It's not an easy task. We can, when you are seeing Manchester playing, you don't know what the players going through. You just say, "Oh, Neymar is supposed to do that. He's supposed to do that," but you are not in his shoes. That he was not able to do what you expect him to do. That is the same thing at politics. The same thing with success. If I see how far we come from 1990 when Idris Deby take the power today, there have been a lot of changes. And to change human being, Dr. Matsanga, it will take time. Either we like it or not. Or you fight it, you are not happy, or you agree with people to understand them to make sure that you push things at least to get better. He have done far better than any president in charge today. I congratulate him. That is 100%. All of our leaders, we have flaws. Even America today, we see the flaws with democracy. We finally, even me and you, Dr. Matsanga, we are questioning, is that democracy is a real thing? Because these people who are imposing us democracy, they start fighting among themselves. Something is wrong somewhere. Now, let's go to that, our neighbors in Central African Republic. Central African Republic, from the beginning, their independence, all the success of the leadership has been so wrong that it became an anarchy, in a chaos. If a country has been in a system of chaos, to bring it back to the track is very difficult. And even in our last session, I spoke about it. The difficulties Central African Republic have, they don't have communications, they don't have access, they don't have infrastructure. So to run the country is totally difficult. I can tell you, Professor Jared, know that there is no place in Kenya they tell you if there is rebel, it's difficult to access them. But in Central African Republic, yes, rebel can be in the country, but it's going to be difficult even with the helicopters to access those rebels is difficult because the communication, the infrastructure are not there. Things are so complicated. So in order to get this change, time to bring everybody on, because sometimes in Africa we are having issues. This ethnic problem is causing us a big damages. This segregation, these people, they are from the north, these people are from the south, it has damaged a lot of our life. Because always, if the person from the north in power, the people from the south mean that they are not well treated, then always there is a tension. And you know, the Western people have...
if I may come in, Ambassador, is it the colonial... The point you are making is very important to our listeners and to the panel. Everywhere in Africa, the North doesn't agree with the South. Or you find the East doesn't agree with the West. Is it a divide and rule tactic that communities were put together to disagree? Look at Nigeria, for example. The Fulani don't agree with the Igbo. Uganda, those days before we hammered a unity pact, the Southerners don't agree with the Northerners. Look at
me,
that.
I don't see. For me, I can say that we cannot accuse the West that divide and rule, but also we have to understand that it's only African continent have a lot of ethnic groups, and to bring them together with some of the different culture, there is a tension. And this tension has not been addressed properly in our system until now. This is that continue. The West, they are just as smart than they see our weakness, and they are using those buttons at least to get what they want. But they are not the instigator of this weakness. This weakness has started from us. Always come. How come after 60 years of independence, we are also referring our leaders by their ethnic group? It's a big shame, Dr. Masanga. Normally, we are going to, address our leaders. We are going to identify them as our leaders, but not their ethnic group. Even though some of these ethnics, they feel that this is our time to rule the country, mean that we are not running a country, we are sharing a party. Someone tell you this is our time. What do you mean this is your time? And we are a nation. We are we have a constitution that everyone have the right to be. So this ethnic group has caused. Yeah, go ahead.
What do you think America will do?
First of all, America cannot do nothing, because if you are not ready to change, someone cannot change you. Let's go back to Democrats. When Barack Obama has been elected, Africa was so thrilled that they think they have a savior. At the end of the day, we end up with just lies. Nothing has happened. I live in the state. I have my house. I have my family in America. One day we have a meeting. We Africans, we said that Barack have not done anything for Africa. Even for the place where his father was born, he have not done anything. We even suggested with all the power Barack was having in this world, why not calling all his friends to build one of the prestigious university in the same Kogelo to put his father's name, at least to leave a legacy, those simple things.
Yes, look, you have brought a very good point. Today is a discussion, Ambassador.
Yeah.
Yes, you brought a good point. I want to ask any Kenyan on this panel, and I want to go to Karanja in Nanyuki. The ambassador has brought a very good point. I want us
yes, I'm here, Doctor.
Engaging a good point. Did Barack Obama leave anything significant in Kenya where he was born, when he was
and in Africa in general?
And in Africa, show me one apartment of Barack Obama in Africa. Show me one road that he constructed. Show me one hospital, apart from the Kasimolo swimming pool somewhere in Kegero, which is growing grass. So Karanja, you are Kenyan, you are in Kenya, you are in Nanyuki, and we are very far with Ambassador Maina, and I'm from the command center. We would like to know, and also Kirimi, we want you to go deeper on prepare yourself on Uganda. What is going on? What will the United States do on Ugandan intolerance, on the people you have vanquished? You have won them, you have beaten them. So, Karanja, let me begin with you. The ambassador raises a very serious point. Africans in America were very joyful. Oh, our black man has come. except Matsanga in the whole world was named. I am the only one who, you remember, those who have been following my work, I criticize Obama's coming to power is a disaster. When Obama ordered for troops to go and bomb Libya, I was not happy. Therefore, I remained a single-handed lone ranger, and perhaps with Gerard, Professor Gerard, with
Dr.
serious point. We cannot change somebody who cannot be changed. In the Central African Republic, we have very bad manners. There's no communication. But I want to ask Ambassador, when we come back in round 2, to tell us, Ambassador, why there are 2 Airbuses leaving Paris, the Go Airport, and Paris, to arrive in Central Africa. What Airbus 320, what do they go to do in Central Africa?
One to carry people and the other one to route minerals from
Africa. One carrying people and another one is carrying
minerals. Well, I always saying, I don't want us to talk about mineral because they are not important. Go ahead, Mr. Karanja.
We are going to raise this thing. Why do you always, when we reach the mineral thing, you run away?
It's not important for us. Me and you, we are not going to eat diamond. We can't do anything with diamond, right? We are not going to do anything with oil because we can't process it.
I get your point.
I want to say why they come. Then he has finally said what we are saying.
Yes, but we must also find out, even if we are not going to eat the minerals, why there are 2 Airbuses which should fly in Chad, Jamena, because there is tourism there. Why don't they fly there?
Let me explain. Because those French countries, they don't have airlines companies like KQ, like Ethiopia. Have you ever heard about the Air Central African Republic or Air Chad flying outside the countries? No. Never happened. Have you heard it?
No, I've not heard, but
so the only way for us to go out in the country, we need Ethiopian, we need Air France to go to Europe countries, and Ethiopian to go come this side. We don't even have Carrier Airways.
Airbus.
Of course, but at least, let me explain. The country is a country at least of more than 10 million. We have at least, let's say, 1,000 people going out of a day. How many people Airbus is carrying? It's 300 and 400 people.
Going to do what?
Yes, people are flying out. Kenyan are traveling. Ugandan are traveling.
Boss, they
don't have another airline company except Air France. In Chad, it's only Air France if you want to go to Belgium, to Germany, to America. Yes,
okay,
go ahead.
Let's give Karanja chance.
All right.
During the Obama administration, is there anything that is significant on African continent that you can be proud of? That Obama, like a Gaddafi left Leiko Hotel, Legacy Hotel. You remember it? Grand Regents. That is Gaddafi. At least we are still sleeping in there, taking our women there, reverends taking women there. They are still there. You know, there is now it is a season for reverends to take our women. So be careful. Knock your wife away from reverends. Some of them are doing very bad manners, especially in Uganda. So, Karanja.
Yeah, thank you very much, Doctor, for that question. One thing that we must agree is that as Africa, we must better our systems, we must better our governance, and we must better our electorate so that they can make wiser decisions on the ballot. And that will ensure that we have good leaders. Now, when we have good leaders and we have literate voters who can make good decisions, that is the first place to grow as a continent. On the issue of America, once you are elected president, you are not elected to better Africa, but to better America, because specifically you are a president of the United States. You are not a president of the Africa. Africa, they have their own system. What Americans come to do is to influence some policies that will benefit them directly, but will not touch or benefit the African continent. That is what they do. Therefore, we as Africans, we must better our systems relying on Western influence, but better our governance and our economy, so that we have good leadership and we have a good infrastructural development, so that we can be able to compete with this second-class country and the first-world-class country. And on the issue of Obama, there's nothing significant or something that we can celebrate as Kenyans, as person who has roots in this country, that is tangible, that changes lives, that can impact directly to the people of this country. Therefore, on this issue, if he was willing to better the livelihoods of Kenyans, what he could have done is to have an industry, a university, or an institution that could be ensuring that we have maybe good governance, or maybe we have jobs as an industry that can create jobs. That is the only way that he could have helped. But on this case, there's nothing tangible that came to Kenya from the Obama administration. That tells us that there's nothing much we can expect from Americans or their presidents, because at the end of the day, they have a mandate to better the livelihoods of Americans, not Africans. The issue on to us Africans is to better our systems, is to better our governance, and to have good leaders that are not corrupt, that are not dictators, that not violate human rights.
Yes, we lost Karanja there. Professor, you want
7 leaders down. What they do, they will issue sanctions and travel sanctions to them. Therefore, that will not benefit the people of Uganda or the people of Congo or the Central Republic. What we need as Africans is to have our policies that will better our institution, so that we have good institutions that can guarantee a free and fair election, that can guarantee good governance, that can guarantee justice to the people of this continent. That is the only way we'll be able to compete, and that is the only way we'll be able to get respect from Americans and the United Kingdom, who to some extent they feel they are superior and we are inferior because of how we govern and we do our things. It's time that we better and we style up so that we can compete on that higher table.
Thank you very much. In short, you are saying Obama did 0.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you very much. Douglas Budi Kirimi. Douglas Budi Kirimi. Douglas.
Thank you, Dr. Masanga. And
you are an expert on elections, Ugandan matters. You know them very well. Do we as Africans behave badly? Do we expect anything new from the American administration? Is there anything that is going to change? Have we learned lessons from the past, as Maina and the professor say? Have we learned anything? Do we learn anything? Do we expect anything new? What will these guys come and do here for us as they change the government they got it today in reference with Uganda? Because they have said, the new Secretary of State for Foreign Affairs of the United States of America said he will deal with conflict-prone areas, Uganda, Cameroon, and Ethiopia. And if you see Uganda coming up on the top of the list, it means they are not happy. What do you think they are going to do? What do you think they cannot do? And how will it impact on the Africans?
Thank you, Dr. David Matsanga at the Political Command Center in London. And also, good morning to His Excellency Ambassador Ghana Maina in Paris, France, and also my friend Jevan Karanja, and also Professor Jared Onyari. One thing I think is going to happen with the new approach that the US is going to employ across Africa is that some of these dictators who have been ruling Africa, who have been stealing elections, are going to find it tough because, for example, in Uganda, we have a very shameless dictator who has been beating his children. I don't expect Ambassador Ghana Maina to be beating me. I don't expect Dr. David Matsanga to be beating me. What we are seeing with the grandfather in Uganda today is a man that has refused to allow the younger constituency of Bobby Wine's voters and also young Ugandans to take their country forward. He is a man that has been able to refuse
the status quo to be moved away by the younger constituency of his voters and also his country. I also hope that these people who have been terrorizing the people of Africa, our people, and also the people of Uganda, especially General Museveni and his people, are going to be held into account. We saw the first action that showed that General Museveni has run out of favor with the USA is when the USA withdrew its observer mission, especially the US Embassy in Kampala, from observing a charade that was the election in Uganda. Another issue that I think is going to happen is that his generals, and also I think General Museveni at this point is going to be slammed with the sanctions, because what he has done in Uganda is despicable, and also the people of Uganda themselves, the people that died on 18th and 19th of November 2020, in the middle of a pandemic, General Museveni sent out his troops, his military people, and also the police to kill the people of Uganda. In response, he said these people retaliated and also fought back the police officers. We all know that the people that died in 18th and 19th of November 2020 in Kampala were unarmed citizens. The people, good people of Uganda, had to die for a dictator to stay in power. I hope the Department of State in the USA is going to issue sanctions on the military generals and also to the police officers, the Inspector General of Police in Uganda, also to the Electoral Commission chairman in Uganda, so that they can be issued with travel sanctions and also be sanctioned from moving across Africa or anywhere, because these people are not fit in our society. General Museveni has been used before to be able to curtail the region's peace, because we have found UPDF soldiers in Central African Republic. What are they doing in Central African Republic? What Bozizé is doing today as an opposition leader in Central African Republic today is very despicable. It has now gone to Cameroon, and one person has died as a result of the infighting in Central African Republic. We have seen the fight for diamonds by Russians and also the French government in Central African Republic. We are going to ask, and also I hope the Department of State is also compiling these people so that they can continue putting sanctions on people like Bozizé in Central African Republic, aided by a dictator in Uganda. General Museveni should be ashamed of himself for misusing sons and daughters in the military in Uganda, so that these people in Uganda, UPDF, in the army, can continue serving their country without necessarily serving the whims and qualms of a dictator that has refused and also curtailed the will of the people. For dictator in Uganda, your time is up. Remember, the US observer mission was withdrawn. You have prevented the ambassador of USA in Uganda from going to visit Bobby Wine, who has been under arrest after even stealing his election. A shameless man who steals elections and does not recognize the fact that Bobby Wine requires medical care, which is a universal right, also which is, according to Abraham Maslow hierarchy of needs, a basic need: food, water, and medicine. Bobby Wine cannot access those ones because a dictator wants to stay in power. Military people and police are being misused in Uganda. Human rights are being trampled across Africa. And this is what we are saying. The US policy on Africa should change and now get to the bottom of the matter. Get these dictators out of power. The bell has been rung. General Museveni has been able to be cocooned to Kampala, Ron, and Entebbe. And also now he cannot be able to call on USA. General Museveni has gone to Mogadishu. He has brought the butcher of Mogadishu, Mohamed Saleh. He has brought him to kill the people of Uganda. And these are despicable issues that we cannot be able to continue allowing General Museveni to do to the people of Uganda and even across the region. And those people that aid General Museveni to stay in power should be sanctioned by the US and also the US ambassador to Uganda, as the list of the people that have been able to curtail the freedom and also stop the people of Uganda from exercising their sovereign right to elect leaders that they want. And also for the people of Cameroon and also the Amazonia, people have been killed.
Thank you very much. On the question of Uganda, and let's summarize, you are a specialist on Uganda and Ruto, and I'm very happy about your speciality. Uganda situation, you are recommending that the new administration takes punitive sanctions against the leadership of the army, the military, the police, especially the police commissioner, the IG who said we beat journalists in order to protect them. So is that your view there? Therefore, the new democratic government coming in power in the US takes that stand?
Yes, and also for the US to be able to come in and also midwife a conversation between the opposition in Uganda and also the government of the day, because we can no longer continue having Sam Kutesa as the foreign minister in Uganda, who has been able to use his power in office and also curtail the movement of the people. We have had a police inspector general of police in Uganda who has been able to let the people of Uganda be killed by his army, men and women in uniform who have been able to kill, and also to the commander who is in charge of the army in Uganda, so that they can be able to be General Muhoozi Kainerugaba, so that they can be action can be taken against them. They have been able to steal for the voices of the people in Uganda. I saw a tweet from General Muhoozi when he said that the people of Uganda should be shot. The order from the commander-in-chief, General Museveni, is shoot to kill. That is very despicable. Even if you don't agree with me on the issue in Uganda, you cannot issue an order that says army people should go out and kill Ugandans because a dictator wants to stay in power.
Thank you. Thank you very much. The point is very well made. And as we speak, the leader of opposition in Uganda is still holed up in his house. No power, no electricity, no food, no amenities. Everything is cut off. He's a prisoner without food. I don't know.
Can I say something, Dr. Masanga?
I wanted to jump to Professor Onyari, but I don't know if it is small. Yes.
Well, I was saying that about this Uganda, I think that America is not in a position to help us, we African, if we don't take the matter in our hands. That's number one, because sanction and all those freezing accounts is not helping, it's just making the matter worse. As we all understand right now, we come to understand that we African, we need to take the matter on our hand. And the more we start showing the other person is wrong, he always try to justify himself by retaliating that you are the one who's wrong. Why we as African, Dr. Masanga, right now, we need to take our awareness to initiate a peace process between these people. Either we like it or not, both of them are Ugandan and they will live in Uganda.
How?
I am coming. I
gave you time.
I am coming. Don't hold
Professor's time.
Please. 1 minute,
I gave you time, but let me ask you a question.
What I'm saying is not because you wrong me that I have to hate you. You can wrong me, but I love you, and there will be a peace. We will get. So Dr. Masanga, you are the witness. You have forgiven a lot of people in your life in order to be where you are. You are an example. So don't tell me that anybody now, any opposition leader having in Uganda has been wrong more than you. The best thing to do for me as African, we as African now, we can initiate to go and bring both of them to say, this is your country, either we like it or not. We don't want to say that you are right or they are wrong. We are here to build this love and peace to build our country. One day will be story. We cannot stay forever in this world. Whatever power you have, one day you cannot be alive.
Thank you. You have made your point, and I agree. I'm a peacemaker. I've forgiven even those who killed my father.
For me, if we can have ability today to go and see Bobby Wine, we will take him there.
There is no problem. No, there is no problem. But the point I was trying to make on Uganda is this: one leader is locked up in a house, no charges on him, suspicion and allegations that he was going to incite violence, which is not proved. He won sizable, he won an election. It was wrong. You know, someone stole it. And Museveni was nominated. To me, I am not going to say he was elected. He was nominated.
It's okay.
Yes, by this man of electoral
for me. I'm asking, do you want to be right or do you want to have peace in life?
Because the man of the Electoral Commission should never step in the United Kingdom or France or America. That's the first one we are going to block. That one there will stay there. That, you know, they have played too many games. By this time, some of them depend on stashing this money in the United States. Do you know they don't like Uganda money? Do you know they don't like Uganda currency? You go and give Mr. Chamukamba Uganda currency, he will ask you for $1. Have you seen an African asking you for what is your money in Chad called?
CFA.
CFA. Currency CFA. And I go and I give somebody in Chad. He will say, no, bring in the dollars. Even your own president was asking the Chinese bribe demand who is locked in cells to bring dollars. You know, you remember there is a very serious case. Your president, you can sit here. We want to use you as the brother of Mr. Muhammad Faki to call on Muhammad Faki to initiate the dialogue. Call him in Addis Ababa and tell him, please, initiate dialogue. Let him release this younger man. Let him release this younger man.
We can initiate it by ourselves as Africans.
I don't want to be annoyed.
We can initiate it.
Annoyed. I'm a peacemaker.
I understand.
I
agree with you.
A younger man of 38 who is not even my firstborn. Because my firstborn, who is not even my secondborn. My firstborn is 41. My secondborn is 40 years. And the other 7 children who range between 22 to the age of 41. I don't want to see any of my children suffering without food in their houses. Does Museveni want the wife? Because he's really interested in other people. Yes! You see, Ugandans are not talking the truth. This boy's wife is very pretty. Yeah.
I understand all depends.
We have a conflict for women. And the Ugandans have feared to talk about this. Leo, me, I'm not the Ugandan who fears. Part of the problem of our Uganda politics is the women. We fight over beautiful women. No, wait first. Let me finish. So, does this man wanted to catch this man's wife? Because we don't know. Why do you lock the boy? Lock the wife? The man took his children. Okay, imagine the children were not there. We are there in that house. What would happen? Bob Wine knew that the children were going to be locked in the house. Release him, and we now ask you, especially Ambassador Maina at large, pick that phone as you finish this program. Call Mr. Muhammad Faki. He said Matanga for the first time. He wants a bit to listen to your jaga things. But call for peace and dialogue in Uganda to save that nation. Because people are going to get annoyed. The military is amassing its strength. The civilians are getting worried. A worried man and a wounded man with hunger and no money, with a vote stolen and a nominated president can cause trouble. I have tried to get these guys through silent diplomacy. The other time I told Rugunda to tell Museveni to initiate a dialogue. Call the political parties that you stole the vote and tell them, allow me, I've won you, but leave me to arrange my way of, not disturbing Uganda. We don't want violence. And to me, I am appealing to the opposition as we look for alternatives. Don't go to violence. Let's reach one of the alternative is this man here, the ambassador. He is a brother to Muhammad Faki. He's going to call his brother, and I'm going to call him in the afternoon about 3 o'clock to find out whether AU is sending an envoy in Uganda. It is now very clear that Bob Wine's rights have been infringed. It is now very clear that this boy might die inside there. It is also very clear that they could kill this man and say he committed suicide. Because no doctor is seeing Bob Wine. We don't know which condition he's in. They can kill him and say, we found him hanging on his bed sheet. They can give him an overdose of Viagra or any medicine. Because you see, the guy is now in their custody. Nobody is going inside there. So we want this to end. I'm speaking as an elder. I'm not speaking as 45 years. I'm speaking at 65. Not Ruto can manage my age and my experience and my suffering that I've gone through. All of us have been there. We are there with Museveni in Tanzania. We fought and removed Idi Amin. We removed the Lule. We removed the Binaisi. I was there. We organized the 1980 elections. I was there. Museveni went to the bush. I was there. Okello came and overthrew us. I was there. Museveni came and overthrew Okello. I was away. But I saw. The same Okello who overthrew us, he came to find us 6 months later. He also has no shoes on his feet. I'm speaking from an experience. I'm not speaking from a street walker. I don't speak like a Besigye. Because Besigye worked with Museveni. Their difference is on woman. I have no woman. My wife is a very well-organized Ugandan wife. So I have no differences with anybody. But why is a younger man being detained, being beaten, being no food? And here we sit. We are now calling America to come and help us. Maina, I agree. Professor Onyari, you're a conflict resolution expert. In fact, Maina proposed Professor Gerard Onyari, the chaplain, he can lead. Instead of Kenya Senate sending Onyari to observe elections, they sent another Kaliko. A Kaliko from the Senate called Omanga, Millicent, a Kaliko, village Kaliko, to go and observe elections in Uganda. What a shame. That's another one who took her body to Uganda. We are very upset when an observer like Millicent Omanga, a well-known Ruto ally, who spent more time at Salim Saleh's house than observing elections. She thought we don't have intelligence in that country. All the intelligence officers grew up in our hands. They know us. We are peacemakers. So on this question of Uganda, Professor, as I hand it over to you, Maina, Professor, you liaise. Let's create dialogue. Let His Excellency President Museveni is taken the vote, nominated by Byamukama. Hallelujah, Byamukama, we shall meet in the corridors when you are going to be judged by God. But to sit very far like a Changarai of don't sit near me. If I'm there first, I will see you come. If you are there first, watch me. But don't come near me. I believe there is a sitting room before you are going to be sentenced. Please, there are some people that Yeah. Yes. What for? You beat up children. Beating this boy. You beat this boy. You are beating him. Kwa nini? And we are here. This TV, if it was in Kampala, I think all of us would have been rounded up. But here in London and Nairobi, you can't stop us. If you stop Nairobi, one London broadcast. So there is nothing you can do. And I thank the Kenya government and the others who are liberal. And the British government, they are liberal. We are broadcasting. We criticize the Prime Minister here. People even tell the Prime Minister that your head is very big, go and comb. Can you tell Museveni that your head is, you are drinking milk while we are hearing you on a microphone? Drink slowly. Mm-hmm. That what type of man? What?
Dr. Masanga, let me say something because I want to check out in the next 20 minutes.
Okay, thank you very much, Professor. But prepare to go for dialogue. Let them release the younger man. Maina, I agree with you. But how will dialogue be when one is detained in his toilet? In fact, they might have locked him on the bed. We don't know what
dialogue. There will be always dialogue.
We don't know.
Always there is a way. There is a way.
It is angering people. People are getting. I have spoken to thousands of people from Kampala. People are getting.
Understand.
Yes, there are some of them.
Always there will be a dialogue. There will be a solution for everything.
Some of them are saying that they are going to be killed, but they are marching towards that house. I'm telling you, some of them have already said.
But is that going to help the country? No, it's not going to help us.
Let him kill some people, then the international community comes.
I want to come in.
It's not going to help us. It's not going to help us. We are going to be a loser at the end of the day. We Africans.
Come in.
Don't waste my saliva, Ambassador. Pick your phone and tell your brother. You are the brother of Muhammad Faki, the chairman of African Union. If not, send me the number. I don't fear him. And in fact, he would love to speak to me because he would like to make friendship with me. I've really damaged him. You know that, you saw. He has told you before that Matanga is deadly man. I've damaged him. So today, if he can speak to me on the Uganda issue, I will be very happy. If he can direct dialogue. When we wanted to talk to Konyi, Museveni refused. He said, no, we are going to kill Konyi. We want to kill them. Even when we are going there, we told him we are going on 14th. Maina, let me tell you this, I've never told you this. You know what he told him? On 14th, in Kampala, I told him we are returning on 14th to go and sign. Konyi had admitted to sign this final document after Museveni had signed. I have the documents here. Do you know what he did? He thought we had gone. I swear in the name of God, on 14th December 2008, Museveni sent in the troops to kill. Now you know he wanted to kill me, to kill the whole delegation, to kill everybody. I would have gone. Mahina, I would have gone. And yet I was doing peace for my country. When I remember these things, I can see what this younger man is going through. I would have gone on 14th at 12 Tomahawks from Africom in Djibouti landed. And that was the time when our helicopter with Riek Machar and others, we were supposed to go there on 14th. So he thought we had gone. So had we gone and been in that camp, Senor, we would be Kalas. Professor Nyari.
Yeah, Dr. Masanga, this is a very good topic we are discussing. And let me just have this to say. And I don't know whether I start with the immediate one or I go to Barack Obama as I come to this.
No, you go ahead because we want
Yes,
to discuss.
yes.
Also,
There's-
add Somalia.
Okay.
The Americans are
There's one thing you have said about Barack Obama, that he didn't do much for Kenya or for Africa.
Yes.
Dr. Masanga, let us be fair to history. President Barack Obama was a president of the United States of America, and America have got institutions. You can't go outside the institutions. See what has happened to Trump when he wanted to play outside the Constitution and the institutions of the United States of America. He has become a president who has been impeached twice. And remember all the years that Barack Obama was a president for United States of America. The whites were fighting him all through and through. Thank God that he survived. And remember him being in power, they are the ones who prepared him to be there. So there's nothing much Dr. Masanga he could have done for the continent of Africa. Let us be very honest. He was under hostage. He was just being told, do this, do this, do this. He was not a man of his own. On that one, I agree. Let me just come to Uganda. The writing is on the wall. And the Bible said, Dr. Masanga, that we have got ears, but we cannot hear. We have got eyes, we cannot see. We have got the nose and we cannot smell. We have got the tongue and we cannot taste. And we have the skin and we cannot feel. President Kaguta Museveni has categorically said, Dr. Masanga, and you know, Dr. Masanga, you know I like conflict. Don't say, any peaceful person you know is a conflict person. We cannot talk about peace if we don't like conflict. Conflict, Dr. Masanga, is good. I am telling you, Dr. Masanga, for free. And I want Dan Scholar to come forward. You come forward to challenge me. How you can go and negotiate with a dictator who has not come to his senses? We must make Kaguta Museveni to come to his senses. He said he came to power by the gun. You know what? One of the things I'm very proud of you. You have handed over the baton to the young person, Dr. Masanga. We're gonna fight Museveni. We're gonna fight him physically. Until now, we say, guys, let us come to the table. How do you just go to negotiate with someone who is beating a young person? Who do you negotiate with someone who is already at a higher leverage, Dr. Masanga? He's having an advantage. He's having the army, he's having everybody else. You must be weakened to see now this thing is going. And that's why I said that if there's a way, we can support the young people of Uganda, Dr. Masanga. He's at their internet. He's worsening issues with them, Dr. Masanga. He's 76, and the Bob Wine is 38, and the young people they're saying, Dr. Masanga, they want a stake. So we are not going to Bemberesa Museveni that you get out of power. The time is up. He has said he entered power through the gun, and we'll force him through power by the gun, Dr. Masanga. Let me tell you, Dr. Masanga, if you are not seeing this, the young generations are impatient. They are not going to tolerate him anymore. The children who were born 1986, Dr. Masanga, they have become parents, and even their children they are going to see the grandchildren, and Museveni is still in power. We are not going to tolerate this, Dr. Masanga, anymore, and we must get annoyed. You cannot violate the fundamental human rights of a human being, Dr. Masanga, of denying him water, denying him food. And your fear is as good as mine. They may kill this young man. And we are here debating and asking Faki that we are not persuading him. He should come forward and tell President Museveni do the right things for Uganda, because from where I sit, things in Uganda are not heading towards a good direction, Dr. Masanga. So President Museveni, his time is up. And the young people are getting annoyed, Dr. Masanga. You cannot shut their internet. You cannot snatch their victory, Dr. Masanga. There's a time when you say enough is enough. And this is exactly what happened in Kenya. As much as you are saying that we are a liberal democracy. We have not come this far, Dr. Masanga, simply because someone wanted. Someone was forced. People were forced to sit together. People were forced for us to refute the constitution. And that's why we are even going ahead, Dr. Masanga, to look at our constitution through BBI. So on Dr. President Museveni, Dr. Masanga, he must be forced from office, not through the parrot, by the alternative, Dr. Masanga.
Kirimi.
Yes, sir.
Tell us, Somalia. What is
Thank you, Dr.
on Somalia?
Thank you, Dr. Masanga, and we hope that
the United States policy on Somalia.
Yes, Doctor. Thank you. We hope that the incoming administration of Joe Biden is going to intervene in Somalia so that we can have the issue of terrorism, especially the most ugliest form of terrorism that we have seen being advanced by Al-Shabaab. And also remember, even as a country, the Republic of Kenya has suffered a lot for its support to the people of Somalia, and also especially when it comes to the retaliations that have come as a result of the Operation Linda Inchi, when President Kibaki went into Somalia to protect our borders, especially the porous Somalia-Kenya border, which has been and come under threat from Al-Shabaab. We hope the incoming administration of Joe Biden on Somalia, their policy on Somalia is going to target the Al-Shabaab and also target to eliminate them completely, because we have seen the administration of Donald Trump has tried to pull out some troops from Somalia, but this is not the right time for the U.S. to do that. I hope the U.S. have other stringent measures so that they can be able to deal with this scourge of Al-Shabaab once and for all. And also to lean on the president of Somalia, who is also going for an election in the coming month, February, Farmajo, who has also went on to sell the Kenyan oil blocks to Qatari, Norway, and also Turkey. We need our issue to be under the International Court of Justice so that we can be able, as a country, also reap our benefits for our mutual contribution to the peace between the people of Somalia, bringing peace in Somalia, and also for our mutual cooperation between the U.S. and also our country to be able to bring stability to that country. And we also hope that this coming administration is going to foster a good working relationship with Nairobi so that Mogadishu can benefit from these peace efforts, and also the people of Mogadishu can return to normalcy. People in Mogadishu are crying. When the people in Jubarada are enjoying their lives and all that, people in that part of country in Somalia are not enjoying anything, because at the end of the day, there is Al-Shabaab, and also that is entrenched in the cabinet of President Mohamed Abdullahi Farmajo, so that we can be able to bring these terrorists to book. We know one of the policies of the US is that they are going to deal with terrorists across the world and also extremist groups across the world. We hope that on Somalia, the issue of Al-Shabaab is going to come abide us. Kenya has tried very much, AMISOM has tried, and also the USA needs to intensify their focus on Somalia in terms of terrorism. And also another perspective that we are going to expect is that they are going to extend more training and also more financial support to the Kenyan government so that we can continue talking and also engaging the people of Somalia, and also exterminating the most ugliest form of terrorism that has been advanced by the Al-Shabaab, especially on Mogadishu.
Hello? Your Excellency, how are you, sir, Mr. President?
Yes, how are you?
Fine, thank you, Your Excellency. Yes, I recovered very well, and I am up now. I'm doing work. I came back. Thank you for the prayers.
Yes, my brother, I'm so happy that you're back and again able to work.
Yes, I am seeing reports on the media.
It is ridiculous and it is against the laws of nature that we can have somebody sitting pretty who takes home more money than the credible entrepreneur who is doing actual production of goods and services.
We always say it as it is. It is only in this country that when a thief is arrested, you hear elders from their tribe saying, he is our son and he is our thief.
If you are deviant and I call you leader, probably you are already a leader, but you are leading in the wrong direction.
We want to see the role of the youth in the security, governance, and development.
The youth that I meet and work with here, you know, we call them the millennials and X's and Y's, this and that. They don't necessarily want to live like their fathers and grandfathers, do business like their fathers and grandfathers. They're more independent, they're better educated, and they're the ones that are making everything move in this region.
We look at the issues, we talk about issues that impact people's lives in Africa. The African peoples themselves continue to cheer bad leaders, and because they cheer them on, they continue to be misled.
Let me ask you, doctor, would you rather be somebody who does not enjoy so much freedom but you are rich? Or you'd rather be poor who you are actually imprisoned by the poverty itself?
My goal is not to come here and say, I want the majority.
A great friend of mine, a great patriot, a younger person that I trained. We worked together when he was the personal assistant of General Fox Vinavache. When he took over, made announcements, I drafted those announcements, which were read over radio, over television of Zimbabwe. I want to take this opportunity to pass my condolences. I've just spoken to the people of Zimbabwe. I've just spoken to His Excellency the President. A few minutes, that's why you saw me in suspension. I wanted to confirm he has passed away. He's gone to his Maker to prepare his journey for most of us who will follow. We want to take 1 minute silence on this show in appreciation to the people of Zimbabwe who have lost a gallant soldier, a democrat soldier, a man who came and said, enough is enough, with His Excellency President Mugabe, told him that the people say it is too much, step aside. General Simbisio Moyo has passed on, a hero of the liberation of Zimbabwe. May God rest his soul in peace. Let's take 1 minute silence in honor and in memory of General Simbisio Moyo. Thank you. Thank you very much, viewers. We have just received very sad news of the death of the Minister of Foreign Affairs of Zimbabwe. He dies on a day when Zimbabwe is under the focus of international relations of American sanctions. A friend of mine, I have no energy. I've just spoken to the president, my good brother, the friend of mine, for over 23 years, and he has confirmed to me he's dead. But I have no much to say. And the time is 12:37. We need to finish the show so that I can console myself and put myself together and see how best we can mourn this gallant son of Africa. But that said, it is sad that it is very, very sad. It's very sad. So I would like to call upon Maina to make, I don't know who was on, it was Kirimi, call upon Maina to make closing remarks about USA policy towards Africa. Will it change? Will it not? As also, Prof, you prepare for your closing remarks, and Janavan Karanja and yourself, then we call it a day. It has been a very interesting topic, and we have learned quite a lot, especially on the issue of Uganda. And in Uganda, there's something also which is cooking. I don't want to preempt it, but life is going on. You know, it's life is life. So I want to thank you so much. I want to give you the opportunity to say your closing remarks. The Minister of Foreign Affairs of Zimbabwe is dead, and he was a close friend of mine. So may his soul rest in peace. Maina, closing remarks.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Matsanga. May his soul rest in peace. We have lost a great leader in Africa, and these people has fight for our freedom, our independence. We always think about them. First of all, let me go back again on Uganda issue. And as we African, I can suggest that we all here, we know that there is something we call the Councils of Elders, people that they respect in the country, that if they talk, people will listen to them. People God has given wisdom. You are among them, Dr. Matsanga. And inside of us, even relying on any body organism like AU or UN or whatever, some of the matter we can take in our hand, to initiate the elders, to start talking between the two parties. You will see that the peace will come. That anyhow, the peace will be there. There is tension, but at the end of the day, we all want to have peace. We want to be happy. We want a happy country. So tension has never fixed a country. I come from the country that things has been sort of that I don't want this kind to be repeated in any country in this Africa, because I know how tough and difficult it is. They say in our language, you know how the problem will start, but you don't know how it ends. That's 100%. You can only explain how the problem has started, but you cannot explain the ending of the problem. We can build the Council of Elders to go and see even the President Museveni, bring them together, create a synergy of peace, and it will work. Believe me, 100%. If there is a will, it will work. At the end of the day, it's just power. It's nothing else. It's something simple that we just fight. But when we understand each other, you will see that Bobby Wine and President Museveni can come together to work for the benefit of the country. At the end of the day, everybody is longing to serve the country. Everybody wants something, to recognize. Either we see it bad or good, that is our judgment. But everybody is longing for something. So tension has never fixed issues. Tension has never fixed issue in Africa. Always we end up that the Western people will come again, to be among us, to start bringing the resolution system is not helping. We have leaders, even in Uganda, we can talk to him, he will listen. This is number one in Uganda. Now going back to US, I don't see any system changing from the US to Africa, because US want to make his own country better. They are not worried about Africa too much that we think. So anyhow, if we as African leaders, we decide to make our country better, we will be partners with America. But they are just, they can give us some advice. So as you say, always sanction or whatever, but have any sanction help all the people in Congo, DRC? Do you think that the sanction they put in Central African Republic, Congo, DRC has changed something? Nothing has changed. Because when we decide to change, things will change, Dr. Matsanga. But when we decide not to change, nothing will change. Because if our mind is focused on war, you cannot have peace. But when you decide to say, okay, at the end of the day, I give up, but I want the peace for my people. I want my people to survive. We bring both leaders together. You will see that at the end of the day, they will laugh. Things are happening. Kenya is a big example today. The handshake has brought a lot of joy, not even to Kenya, but to Africa. Dr. Masanga, you are witness. There is a time that the tension in Kenya had made Africa worried. Am I right or wrong? Today, you see the two leaders drinking tea together, dancing together, eating together. What is the joy? At the end of the day, we are fighting a simple thing that is not even important, Dr. Masanga. Today, our best friend, the Minister of Foreign Affairs, passed away. The only thing we can remind him is the good deed he has done in the country. Am I right or wrong? We always remember the good things he done for our continent. So why we are taking some time, we are taking this life too far. We've forgotten even the basic of the happiness, the basic of life, the basic of our people in Africa. Me, I am for peace. I want today, if we can get the Council of Elders, we don't need African Union. We can go. There is a people in Uganda that if they talk to Museveni, he listens to them, he respects them, he gives them value. And I know that, Dr. Masanga. And when we engage ourselves, we can bring Bobby Wine too. Bobby, at the end of the day, is our country, and we love this country. We don't want this country. One person have to bend in this world. We don't want to be this one is right or wrong. This is the time for us to come have a peace. The handshake is an example in Kenya. This handshake is one of the biggest legacy Kenya has done to Africans, not even to Kenya. We can do it everywhere. At the end of the day, Professor Jared, know that which country in Africa that an opposition party come out clearly to congratulate his opponent? Never happened. Only Nigeria with good luck. In Cameroon is the same thing. In Chad is the same thing. Central African Republic, Tanzania, Uganda, everywhere someone have to say that they rig election. For how long are we going to continue the same thing? But we want change. If today, if me and Bobby Wine, I will come out to say, I congratulate my elder brother. We come together and say, okay, we need to build this country. We all have to work for this country. We love our country. We need peace in this. We need to develop our country. Sometimes you see your enemy is not necessarily your enemy. It's just that there is misunderstanding for his concept. If you understand real, sometimes your enemy, it can be your friend. The example is in Kenya, Professor Onyari. So you are not the person who's advised people to go and fight Museveni. You're supposed to advise them to have a handshake like Kenya. Today, when you see Raila Odinga and William and the president, Uhuru Kenyatta, they are best friends. So mean that politics is just a game. Manchester play with Paris Saint-Germain. At the end of the day, we eat together. Why not having that, we Africans? Why wasting our energy to build the hatred, to build things that is not even matters? We need a handshake also in Uganda. Dr. Masanga, you have to do it. We don't need to call Musa Faki. You're supposed to do it. Why Musa Faki have to go in Uganda? Dr. Masanga is there. There are a lot of elders. We say that, yes, Museveni, even we have our differences, but we need to handshake and to build our country. You will see the joy and the peace. So that is my remark. I want to thank everyone. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And I now move to Professor. You make your remarks as we final remarks. You have been called upon by Maina.
Yeah,
to first go under.
I like the challenge Maina is trying to tell me that we try an effort. There's no harm in trying. It's good to try.
God bless you.
Yeah, there's no harm in trying. But Maina,
let's try.
You cannot steal my cow, which I'm milking for my children. You take it, and then you just giving me a glass of milk so that I go and feed my children. It takes God for you to start that kind of negotiation. I hope you listened to me very carefully. President Museveni has said he was not given power by anybody. He took power by the gun. And that's what he's inviting us for. So if there's a way we can find eminent persons, Dr. Masanga, and then we can engage him, then they can listen, fine, I'm for it. But there must be a conflict. He has already created the conflict. He has already stolen someone's victory. So that's where it is. Be it as it may, Africa should learn to do things on its own. If we have managed to navigate through COVID-19, we can be able to solve our problems. Dr. Masanga, Joe Biden will be the president of the United States of America. Any foreign policy which will be carrying around the world, Africa being inclusive where is, it will be for the good of the people of America. And that's entirely, I agree with with Ambassador Maina, that Africa, we need to restructure ourselves. We need to refocus ourselves. We need to redesign ourselves. We need to engineer ourselves and find out which roadmap we need to follow to take Africa into another level. Let me just also wind up by saying, Dr. Masanga, death is an enemy. It robs us, our loved ones. It has robbed us one of the Pan-African and fine people who said, Pope, yes, you are our comrade, you are our freedom fighter, but this is the way Zimbabwe has to go. May Moyo rest in peace as we look forward for the soon return of Jesus Christ, and we shall meet at the feet of Jesus if you are a believer just like me. I wish the family well as they prepare to inter his remains, and may God give them the peace that surpasses all understanding. I submit.
Thank you very much, Professor Onyari. This has been a fantastic topic, American policy of a new administration. But in the middle, we are interrupted by the bad news. And Javani Karanja.
Yes, Daktari, I had a problem with my connection. Let me use my audio. Let me say this. I said for Africa and for the people of Zimbabwe that we have lost a Pan-Africanist who stood for good governance and who called Mugabe into order. Therefore, I take this opportunity to send my condolences from Punchline Africa TV to the people of Zimbabwe. And on the issue of America and Africa, it's high time, and I agree with the professor and Ambassador Maina, that we need to better our systems and our institutions so that we can be able to compete on such.
You are my angel. You are my angel.
And on the issue of USA and Africa, it's time that we make our African continent better so that we can compete on policy level and in terms of economic strategies with the countries like America. Therefore, I call upon all the bodies that look at this issue in Uganda so that we have peace. And as Maina and the professor you are saying, let's have negotiation. Let's look all possible means, and we'll make sure that we have peace in Uganda and in Somalia. And we invite even the new administration that will take another of office today from America, led by President Joe Biden, to come and intervene and to issue sanctions and to bring all the possible means to ensure that the bad regime of Museveni is brought down, because that's all to bring a negotiation table, both parties, so that we have an agreement that will ensure that the people of Uganda will be able to be to run their business well, that will be able to carry out their elections in a peaceful way, and violation of human rights will be a thing in the past. And the issue of Somalia, they should ensure that terrorism is dealt with. The Al-Shabaab, Sabina Manas in this continent and this entire East Africa continent, it should be dealt with. Therefore, the new administration should also intervene and give backup to the bodies that are there fighting this chronic Al-Shabaab terrorists that are terrorizing the East African continent and on Kenya. And the issue of oil fields in between Kenya and Somalia, that conflict, they should also intervene and ensure that we got into the right direction. Also, something that I foresee is that in Kenya and the US will continue fostering the good cooperation in terms of trade, economic, and so on, because we have seen the United States for the last 10 years or 20 years or so being a good partner in terms of trade cooperation, in terms of economic and so on in Uganda, in Kenya. Therefore, it's something that I foresee continuing even with this administration of Joe Biden. Therefore, it's something that we must look into it and see how things will roll. And as I conclude, let's all as Africans focus on ensuring that we have a good continent, we have good leaders that can bring development, and we have voters and electorates who can make wiser decisions on the ballot to ensure that we move on as a continent and we be able to have good development and infrastructural development. Thank you.
Okay, as I make my closing remarks is that I feel that the administration in the USA and also the people of Africa, the AU, the IGAD, everyone, they need to engage the dictator in Uganda so that the people of Uganda can, the mandate to lead the people of Uganda can be restored to the rightful people. If it's not so, then the USA can be able to midwife a conversation, a national conversation. Maybe they can have their own form of building bridges. They need to build bridges of progress, bridges of moving their country forward, and also for the people of Uganda to keep enjoying their peace as a people, and also continuing the legacy of progress and prosperity for all people. So I believe the people of Uganda have an opportunity to be helped by the friends of goodwill like USA, the AU, and IGAD to be able to force General Museveni into a conversation, into something that can be able to be brought on board for them to be able to talk as a people and as a nation. On the issue of Mogadishu, the US needs to intervene because we have had Al-Shabaab menace that has been able to terrorize the region. We need the AU to also cooperate through AMISOM to keep this country under check and also bring peace in that country. The people of Somalia have suffered, and it is their time. We anticipate a situation where we can be able to now come to agree that the people of Somalia means peace, and that extremist group, that terrorist group, is taken care of in the name of Al-Shabaab. Thank you.
I can add something that if we can plead with Kenyan to ask the President Kenyatta and Raila Odinga, who are the model of democracy in Africa now, who has initiated the handshake. They are well in position to go to Uganda and to make it happen, because we see what they have done in Kenya, the handshake. So Kenyan, we can call also the President Kenyatta and Mr. Raila Odinga. When they fly to Uganda, they can do something. And I know that when they get there, there will be peace, there will be handshake, because they are the witness, they are the example of Africa. So I'm asking Mr. Douglas to initiate that, because we have great leaders in Kenya that made it happen. Why we cannot do it in Uganda, to bring Bobby Wine and President Museveni together, having handshake, build the country, bring back the peace and the happiness. I think we all agree, Mr. Douglas.
I agree with you, Ambassador Maina, and also Your Excellency, you need to also involve Dr. David Masanga. Dr. Masanga,
he is an elder. He is the number one. He is the front liner. He is the one have to even initiate. I said it on the beginning that he is number one. He is the Museveni listening to him number one in Uganda. Either he like it or not. He is his best friend. They have differences, but Museveni listening to him. That's true. When he initiate that, he called President Kenyatta. He called also Mr. Raila Odinga. Believe me, there will be a good handshake, and Uganda will be a very happy country. Let us try our best and African to fix our problem. Let us not even call the West, because Kenya is the weakness. Today, anything happening in my country, I will give them the example. Why the leaders in Kenya are eating together? Why? Mean that they understand democracy. They know that we are fighting for the well-being of our country. So we are not fighting for ourselves. So this is a good example. Dr. Matsanga, you are listening to us. You are the witness. You need to initiate the peace, the handshake, and call the leaders in Kenya here to assist you. And you are an hero for the Uganda, and you keep fighting for Uganda, and you have to continue fighting, Dr. Masanga. We thank you so much.
And thank you, Your Excellency. I also think that the President of the Republic of Kenya has been on the forefront of bringing peace in the region and also initiating those conversations. And I believe Dr. Masanga can speak to a few presidents, and also you, Your Excellency Ghana Maina, can be able now to also bring the AU through Mohamed Faki, so that Uganda can get peace, so that these army people can stop killing people, and so that also the dictator can be brought to book and also to account for his own actions against the people of Uganda and against the sovereignty of the people of Uganda, Your Excellency.
That's true. Thank you. That's true. We agree.
Yeah, thank you very much. I gave you all the time. I did not want to interfere with your talk, and I've listened to everything that you have said. I want to take this opportunity to thank all my panel, Professor Nyari, Ambassador Maina, Javani Karanja, Douglas Budi Kirimi, son of soil from the mountains of Meru, and the son of soil from the mountains of the great area of what is the place called? Karanja's place is
Nanyuki.
Nanyuki. The great plains or the basket of Kenya from Mount Kenya. Nanyuki. Thank you very much. Thank you, Professor Nyari, going for one of the constituencies in Kisii, in Nyamira County. I've just learned that you are campaigning very vigorously. We want to thank you very much, Professor Nyari. We want to thank Ambassador Maina, but don't forget to bring your brother now. We want to initiate a process. We are ready to help. But I want to thank also my viewers all over, especially Ugandans who are thronged on you. We shall keep on talking and pressurizing. Don't stop talking. The moment you stop talking is when you start a conflict. Talk and remove, vomit everything. For me, Dr. Matanga from the Political Command Center of Punchline Africa Television, standing in all the way from London, I want to say thank you sana, kwa heri sana watu wote wa Uganda, mkuwe na amani, mjenge nchi yetu, mpiganie uhuru yenu, lakini mpiganie kupitia kwa njia ya amani. Wacha tuende kotini, kama kotini nasema mtoe ushahidi, tutatoa. I want to thank all of you that peace is more important than violence. You can take time to build. It's a short time to build, but very long time to rebuild. If the building is broken, this time to build it back is difficult. We have built Uganda for 59 years. We want to see whether we can avoid rebuilding it in a bad way. But the truth is, a lot of difficulties. This election was rigged. This election was stolen. And I've told people all the time, I have no regrets for that. I saw it. I even said it one day before, on the same day when they were voting, that this election will be stolen. Because I know what Museveni is for a long time. So thank you very much, all of you. God bless you. Let me see how I can arrange to go and see whether I can go for the burial of the foreign minister of Zimbabwe. Let me see the conditions down there of COVID, and I will see how I can travel for the burial. Thank you very much. God bless you. God bless all of you. God bless Kirimi, Karanja, Professor Onyari, my dear brother. Thank you very much.
must be our goal and our guide. And all that we strive for as a human family, dignity and hope, progress and prosperity, depends on peace. But peace depends on us.